Hi and welcome. I'm really excited about today's guest, Wendy Mitchell. Thank you so much for being here because I know a lot of people are going to be able to relate to your story. But Wendy Mitchell is now an entrepreneur. She has her own business called Purpose by Wendy and purposebyw.com. Hi, welcome to Sharing with Susan B, telling stories from the heart. We're looking to inspire, telling stories of struggle, vulnerability, and lessons learned. She's all about social innovation, social investment, and social impact. Your first volunteer job was at a women's shelter, kind of set the course for you, I think. It was close to your home, and in the line, you saw a woman with her two kids that you went to school with. That really affected you.
Yeah, it made me realize that I was pretty fortunate and that I had the resiliency and the resourcefulness that was needed to just move on with life. And some people didn't have that. And I needed to make a difference and help the people who didn't have that.
You founded the Ottawa Community Housing Foundation. And you co-founded the Dress for Success here in Ottawa. Those are two great organizations. And Shelter Movers is something that you're involved in right now. You took women's studies and anthropology, but you didn't like that. Disability study at Ryerson. Corporate citizen degree at Boston University. And U of T, you studied corporate sustainability. Now, you kind of did that along the way as you kind of found things that you liked. Your professional career started at MBNA, which is the big bad world or crazy world of startup banking. And you were 10 years there and you did 7 different roles.
Yes.
So that must have been an interesting journey.
It was that pathway of you come in on a Monday and you don't know what your job's going to be because someone says, hey, you want to start up this section? Do you want to start up this piece of the bank? So it was really fun and interesting and got to build that ability to just go with it.
Volunteer Canada. You were brought in after they lost 90% of their funding. Wow. And you helped Canada's largest corporations engage at the community level. So you built a corporate responsibility and sustainability institute at the Conference Board of Canada.
The Conference Board hadn't been working in the area of sustainability for about a decade, and they had originally been a trailblazer.
Wow.
And they said, we need to jump back in. Do you think you could do something? And so I hit the ground running and put a little team together, and
you did it.
We did it.
Yeah. So then, of course, the next logical step after that was entrepreneurship, right?
Sure.
So tell us about what you're doing right now, because I think it's super cool.
I am running what I would call a social impact business that is allowing me to work with businesses and nonprofits and interesting people across the country. If you're not taking into consideration all these crazy trends that are happening, and I'm not talking just climate change.
No.
There are over 50 different trends that are going to be impacting businesses over the next decade. And if you're not thinking about them in your strategy, then your company's not going to be resilient, and there's a risk factor involved. So what I do is help them mitigate risk by thinking about those things and incorporating it into their business strategy.
But what's been like a big struggle that you've experienced in your business career?
I think that every performance appraisal that I've ever had in my career in any kind of business has been, you have so much enthusiasm and passion. You're really emotional. So it's like that back and forth constantly of be passionate, be enthusiastic, but take the emotion out of everything that you do.
How's that even possible with the first two? I mean, it's not.
It's not for me.
No.
It's definitely not a thing that I can do. But I am finding that being on the outside and being a consultant within a business, I can manage that differently, because the emotional piece has nothing to do with the politics of the organization or the administrative craziness that happens in businesses. It's me totally just managing it myself.
What about personal struggle?
There's lots of
Pick
those.
one.
Well, there's lots. I mean, like, I think that I'm hyper conscious of my mental health. I grew up in a family that has a lot of different mental health issues in it. So I find myself hyper aware. And I try to spend a lot of time balancing things out at various points and being aware of that.
So you're very conscious.
Totally.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think health is always a concern. I had cancer a couple of years ago, and that gives you a big reality check.
Sure does. Yeah, that'll shake things up.
But that's also impacted my weight. And for me, weight is something that, I can be as confident as I want about every other aspect of my life. If I don't feel healthy, then I need to do something about it. And I'm at a point now, based on health past health that I can't do anything about it. And so that's a struggle for me.
And you were saying that it wasn't really an issue for you until somebody said something to you. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, 15 years old. I had spent most of my life, I was very active, taught skiing for years, was very active in different sports and doing all kinds of stuff. But I remember being in my friend's basement, and his mom would always come down. I got along with people's parents a lot when I was a teenager. Surprise. And I remember him coming down saying, "Oh, my mom really enjoyed talking to you. She said, oh, with that Wendy, she's so pretty if she'd just lose some weight." And I was like, I'm 15. I'm totally comfortable with myself. I was dating someone and totally okay with it. But it crushed me.
Wow.
And I remember that
Words
feeling
are powerful.
so well. Yeah. I feel completely different than I see myself in a picture or in a mirror. I feel totally comfortable in myself and totally comfortable in my body.
I totally get that from you.
And then I put something on, I'm at a store, I'm trying stuff, ugh. And I think everybody goes through that. But what I've learned is I am who I am, and people want to be around me. They couldn't care less what I'm wearing, what I look like, whether
energy, baby.
It is.
Energy.
And that's how I draw people in too. So I've realized that's been a big learning.
How about some advice that you would give your younger self or somebody who's coming up in the ranks? What advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid to be part of the conversation. A lot of young women are afraid to speak up and are so worried about what other people are going to think about what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Just say it.
What's next for Wendy Mitchell? I know you got a lot of great things brewing. You just shared with us when you came in about some really cool project happening in California.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff rolling. And I'm at a point in my business where I'm not saying no to things, because as long as it fits within that social impact, social innovation, or social investment, I'm not saying no, because I have an incredible network. And what I'm learning is if I can't do it myself, I have this incredible network of people who are so talented that I can just pull in and draw in on different pieces. Yeah. And everyone's got a side hustle these days, and I love it.
How about some rapid fire questions for fun?
Oh dear.
We're already having fun, but let's have some more. Your favorite superhero?
Super Grover.
Super Grover.
Super Grover by far. He is my savior on a bad day.
It. Favorite food indulgence?
Oh, I had tiramisu last night, but it could be, honestly, I think sweet sugar.
Yeah. I'm a sugar addict, I hear you. Something not too many people know about you?
That I have fear, and fear can hold me back.
Favorite movie, book, or quote?
Oh.
Or all three? Favorite movie?
Dead Poets Society.
Oh, yes.
Which
Classic.
It's powerful to me because it is that stand up and be something and stand up for something. And She's Come Undone is a book, which is an incredible book that I read when I was probably in my late 20s.
Yes.
And I read it over and over every once in a while because it's the voice inside my own head.
How about a quote? You got a favorite one?
Purpose before strategy, strategy before structure.
Okay.
That's kind of because it's what I think about when I'm trying to break down something. Where's the purpose? Where's the why right on the front end?
What's your definition of success in one sentence?
Happiness.
Something that always makes you smile?
People.
Yeah. Good people. Wow, Wendy. Thank you so much. We could talk for hours.
Totally.
Maybe we'll have to do our own series, The Wendy and Susan Show. I can't wait to hear more about what's going on with you. And if you want to learn more about Wendy, on her website, we'll have the website here, purposebyw.com. She's on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. She's all over the place.
I'm anywhere. You can find me everywhere.
So check her out. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And I really appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.